If you ever played D&D, I'm sure this may have happened to you. You and your party finally fight the big bad guy. And once the fight starts, the big boss is unable to do anything in the first 2 turns, because your spellcaster casted spells like Hold Monster, Banishment or Force Gauge on it. One way or another, the boss isn't able to move or do anything. The fight becomes a one-way strike fest where everyone just attacks the enemy over and over as they try to break free from a spell that incapacitates them. This doesn't seem fun, engaging or climactic for a boss fight like this. So what's the exact problem in this scenario? Are spellcasters OP? Are solo bosses underpowered? Or is it something entirely different? Well, let's find out. First of all, we need to know how those big boss fights usually play out. For this video, I'm assuming our big bad guy is gonna be an adult red dragon that we are gonna fight in its lair. It'll be worth 20,000 XP, will be something around 4,000 XP short, but I think we could fill this up by just bumping up our red dragon HP to a maximum of what we could roll on its hit dice. Either way, our players are gonna try to end this fight as quickly as they can, but the reason behind this wouldn't be strictly malicious. Usually those debuffing spells allow for big damage, and who doesn't like dealing damage? At the same time, disabling an enemy feels good, and disabling a big enemy feels really good. We don't want to just give our dragon a no button that pretty much disables debuffs, so the first thing we are doing is kinda remaking legendary resistances. Here's how our brand new legendary resistance works. Legendary resistance now reads: whenever this creature would become paralyzed, stunned, restrained or incapacitated and it has at least 1 hit points, it becomes dazed instead. And we will introduce a new condition called dazed. And what does dazed do? Well, while you have the dazed condition, you experience the following effects. On your turn you can use an action or bonus action, not both. You can't use reactions. You have disadvantage on dexterity and strength saving throws, and attacks against you have advantage. With this condition, our dragon would still be able to act on its turn, but it will still suffer consequences of being debuffed. It's an overall better experience from player's perspective, since the dragon can just say no to their spells, and it's a better experience for our dragons. It's still dangerous and it still can fight back. What about legendary actions? Do we have to fix them? Is there a way to make them more engaging? Well, I think yes. The way I tried fixing them is giving a full turn to the boss at the end of every player's turn. You have to decrease the damage of a basic attack action to be closer to the damage of a young dragon, but in exchange we can boost our dragon's defenses, mainly their HP. This massive decrease in DPR allows us to raise the dragon's HP to over 500, which is gonna greatly help him. If you're wondering how I got these numbers, I'm using 2014 way of calculating CR of the monster, lowering its offensive CR and bringing its defensive CR much higher. I won't recommend raising anything but HP to bring up the defensive CR, mainly because raising AC leads to hitting less often, which is usually not fun for the players, and raising its save modifiers leads to spells landing less often, which is also usually not fun for the players. I have to mention, if you are going to run legendary actions as full additional turns, any effect that triggers at the end of the turn should trigger at the end of the last turn in the round, and any effect that triggers at the start of the turn, like recharging of the breath weapon, should trigger at the start of the first turn in the round. Okay, so our dragon actually does something now, but the fight is kinda stale. The only thing he does all the time is attack 3 times and uses a breath weapon when it can. What I would usually do is give the boss 2 things to do with its actions and 2 things to do with its bonus action. I usually reserve an action for big damage things, like the multi-attack or in our case a breath weapon, and bonus actions for things that apply conditions. A dragon could roar to deal thunder damage and inflict a bane-like effect on failed saving throw, and a wing attack that deals damage to everyone around and pushes them back and prone on failed save. Our boss having both stuff to do with its actions and bonus actions makes our dazed condition more powerful, since we can do everything we could. And that's good. We don't want to create a powerful OC that kills everyone no matter what. We want to create a competent bad guy that can fight back and that can be beaten. Lastly, I want to talk about something experimental. It's something I called charge attacks. an ability that telegraphs where it's gonna hit, so players can either move out of the way or take a lot of damage. The reason it's an experimental thing is I didn't have that much time testing it. So how does it exactly work? The boss uses its charge attack in their first turn. They can move and use a bonus action before that. When the boss, in our case the dragon, uses their action to ready the charge attack, the dragon takes a deep breath and his body starts glowing like magma. The air in 30 feet radius around the dragon fills with embers, and the room fills with heat, hampering everyone's movement. With that, we already aim our cone with our deadly charged breath weapon, so our players should know where to go. Every creature in the room needs to spend an additional 1 feet of movement for every 1 feet they spend, so it costs double to move through. As long as the dragon is charging its breath weapon, it can't act, so players get a whole round for themselves. At the end of Dragon's last turn, it unleashes its deadly breath weapon. Everything in an established cone in 30 feet radius takes automatic damage. There is no save, and you as a DM should let your players know that when you start using this charge attack. And that's pretty much it. For additional coolness, the attack could be only used if Dragon has half HP or lower, and it should be only used once per battle. So, my doubts about this is that it's actually really easy to dodge things like that because D&D has free movement, and that's why we are including double movement costs to the entire room. Alternative ways to getting out of the way of this deadly AoE attack could be hiding behind something, creating your own cover, shooting down a stalactite to be a barrier after it lands, or just making your players stun the boss after it's dazed to prevent them from using this attack whatsoever. I hope this will help you make your big bad guys, or small bad guys, more impactful and fun to fight against. I personally use this method in few of my games and it worked pretty great. At the end, I would like to thank everyone that followed my channel so far, my editor, and of course, you, the viewer, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you did not enjoy it, leave a dislike. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel. Okay, bye!